Thank you for the invitation to speak today. My name is Sisses and I'm Mayor of Health and Care in the city of Copenhagen. Unfortunately, I could not join you in Helsinki, but I'm happy to still get the opportunity to introduce you to the strategic development of the healthcare system in Copenhagen. I will also tell you a little about what we do to ensure good healthcare for Copenhageners. Copenhagen is by far the biggest city and the biggest municipality in Denmark. We are approximately 630,000 Copenhageners. Our city is growing rapidly by just about 1,000 people every month. And at the same time, we face many of the same challenges as many other European cities. A big increase in elderly citizens and citizens with chronic illnesses. This puts a lot of pressure on our healthcare services. At the same time, we face a serious challenge of social inequality in health. Easy and equal access is a fundamental principle of the Danish healthcare system. Nonetheless, some Copenhageners today do not get the help they need. In some urban areas in Copenhagen, the expected lifetime is 7 years less than in the richer parts of the city. This inequality in health is unacceptable. One of my key priorities as Mayor of Health and Care is to make sure that all Copenhageners have the same possibility to live a healthy life. In order to provide our citizens with the same opportunities, we must have the courage to treat individuals differently. There's no one-size-fits-all. Some people need a lot of help, where others need a little guidance. To deal with the challenge of the growing number of elderly and chronic patients and the inequality in health, we need to prioritize health prevention, both the benefit of society and for the sake of the individual. Let me give you 3 examples of how we work with this approach. Structural health prevention, specialized healthcare centers, and cooperation across the healthcare system. In Copenhagen, we have focused on breaking health inequality through structural prevention since 2016. Health must be integrated as a natural part of our everyday lives, not depending on an active choice by the individual Copenhagener. The healthy choice must be the easy choice for everyone. That is why we work with health prevention through structural activities. We work to affect and change the framework for citizens' lives and behavior in everyday life. For example, in the schools and the educational system, in residential areas and in urban spaces. We are actively shaping and organizing the city's spaces and green areas to support a healthy everyday life. As an example, we have prioritized good conditions for cyclists, and many of us cycle daily. And we have outdoor training facilities, skating rinks, harbor baths, parks and green areas, which invites Copenhageners to physical activities. We continuously implement targeted initiatives that focus on, for instance, well-being, mental health, alcohol or smoking. And we engage in strategic partnerships with schools and workplaces to integrate a healthy life. For example, we have partnerships with many educational institutions for young people in Copenhagen. Together, we focus on how to create a better framework for students' well-being and health. And we help focus on where the needs are greatest. For example, how everyday life can become less stressful, or how we can challenge the social norms when it comes to how much sleep and what we eat. The structural approach makes it possible to take action where action is needed, to make it easier for all Copenhageners to make healthy choices every day. For citizens who are already ill, we have specialized centers in Copenhagen. Diabetes, cancer, mental health, and so on. Here we help citizens live better lives managing their disease. For example, citizens with diabetes can participate in activities such as physical exercise, dietary guidance, cooking, talks on diabetes, and smoking cessation guidance. And here too we focus on social inequality in health and adapt the help to the needs of the individual to ensure that citizens with the greatest needs get the most support. Let me give you an example. This is Arne. Arne is 57 years old. He lives in Copenhagen and was diagnosed with diabetes 12 years ago. But he had many other things to struggle with than diabetes. At the time when he was diagnosed, he had a light depression. He had no job, and over the years he has had different challenges both with his physical and his mental health. Then one day, about 3 years ago, he found himself in an ambulance on the way to the hospital. He had experienced a sudden chest pain and ended up getting a pacemaker at the hospital. At the next visit at his GP made it clear to Arne that he needed to take his health and his diabetes seriously. His GP referred Arne to the city of Copenhagen's Center for Diabetes. This marked a change in Arne's life. At the Center for Diabetes, he got the right tools to handle everyday life with diabetes. With the help from the center's professionals and together with others in the same situation, Arne gradually learned to do physical training and he learned to cook healthy meals. Two things that used to be immensely difficult for him. The center also helped him socially. Just getting out of the house was a big improvement. At the center, he connected with others in the same situation, and gradually he got his diabetes under control. Copenhageners like Arne have a much greater need for help and support to live a good life with their chronic illness. Therefore, we must dare to prioritize Arne and others like him in order to create greater equality in health. For a long time, the municipalities in Denmark have received more and more tasks and responsibilities in the health area. Patients are discharged earlier from hospital, and they have a greater need for rehabilitation and treatment. Therefore, it is essential that we have a strong collaboration between the agencies that helps patients. This applies to the capital region, who are responsible for our hospitals, but also to civil society, voluntary organizations, NGOs, and so on. And then, of course, it also applies for the general practitioners. They are very important partners when it comes to municipality health services. The GPs are the citizens' entrance to the healthcare systems and to many of the municipalities' services. But unfortunately, we lack GPs in Copenhagen. In some part of the city, newcomers cannot get a local GP. And by 2025, there will be a shortage of 52 GPs in our city. That is a big problem, especially when it comes to the fight against social inequality in health. Because it means a lot to have a doctor close to home. If the doctor is in another part of the city, important visits may be delayed and health conditions worsened. So it is important that everyone has easy and equal access to a GP. Therefore, we actively support GPs in Copenhagen, and we work to make it attractive to be a doctor in our city. We can help GPs find suitable offices and business partners, and we help them to navigate in the jungle of building permits and so on. In this way, we hope that we can reverse the trend and secure all Copenhageners easy access to a GP in their immediate area. As I mentioned in my introduction, we face many of the same challenges across the Nordic countries. Therefore, it is so important that we continue to share our knowledge. The COVID-19 pandemic has shown us how much we can achieve across the healthcare sector when we work together towards a common goal. If we manage to use these experiences going forward, we can make real changes and fight the inequality in health. Thank you for inviting me to give this talk. I wish you all a good conference.